This morning, Donald Trump says El Chapo's escape backs up his criticism of Mexican immigrants and the country's government. One poll released last week shows Trump leading the GOP presidential race with 15% of the vote. Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush and Kentucky Senator Rand Paul each had 11%. Trump did not appear last night at the Miss USA pageant he co-sponsors. NBC dropped the broadcast after he said Mexican immigrants bring drugs and crime to America. Nancy Cordes is in Washington tracking what Trump and other candidates are saying now. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. That pageant aired on a cable channel called Reels instead, and the host made no mention of Trump's absence. He spent the weekend instead on the campaign trail, where he has clearly decided to ignore private pleas from Republican leaders to dial back his rhetoric.
The silent majority is back, and we're going to take the country back.
In Phoenix this weekend, Trump reveled in his new front-runner status, and a crowd of 5,000 reveled right along with him. There and in Las Vegas, he hit illegal immigration hard.
And these people reap havoc on our population.
He even weighed in on the escape of El Chapo, warning in a statement he is possibly in the U.S. and his drugs and drug dealers freely cross into the United States through our pathetic border. All the adulation has left Trump with little incentive to heed the head of the Republican Party, Reince Priebus, who urged Trump in a phone call to tone it down, but who has been hesitant to chide Trump publicly.
Look, I'm not going to take the bait.
On Sunday, the Senate's Republican leader, Mitch McConnell, turned down a chance to criticize Trump. House Speaker John Boehner mostly steered clear, too.
Well, I don't know whether it's helping or hurting, but he's a candidate.
When you wrestle with a pig, you both get muddy.
Republican strategist Doug High says there's a reason Republican leaders are trying to avoid giving Trump too much attention.
Not only does it provide more oxygen, but it provides also a narrative of Trump versus some establishment, Trump versus this person. And it may be a fight that ultimately you can't win, so why get involved in it?
Besides, it's clear rejection doesn't faze the Donald anyway.
Like when I went on dates, if a woman dropped me, which happened often, I would always like to say, or at least in my own mind, that I dropped her.
Trump is even refusing to rule out a third-party run for president if he loses the Republican primary. And that could be the biggest headache of all for GOP leaders, because if he pulls even 5% of the vote away from the Republican candidate, he makes it that much harder for a Republican to win, Charlie.
Nancy, thanks.